He's still the new when it comes to the game of pugilism. And this man has decided that for the next 4 years, he's going to, with his team, marshal resources, their time, everything, their knowledge, to make sure that juvenile boxing, amateur boxing in Ghana, the narrative changes. That wherever it is now, they want to raise it 2 more notches or 3 more notches higher. So in the next 4 years, he wants to do something miraculous, according to him and his team. That he believes that it's possible that Ghana amateur boxing and Ghana juvenile boxing can go back and take its rightful place when it comes to pugilism in this country, and maybe pave the way for us to get a world number 11 champion. Because currently we have 10. We're still waiting for who becomes the 11th. We have people in the pipeline, but he believes that when the foundations are right, then we can bank our hopes on it that indeed we can get a world champion. So he was a former vice president and then decided that, okay, my president is tired. Let me take over. So he understands the ins and outs. No other person than Alhaji Dauda Fuseni, president, Ghana Boxing Federation, is in the house. Prezo, most welcome.
Thank you, Mr.
And let me give you a happy new year, because this is the first time in 2026 that you've joined us here.
That's true. Thank you very much.
Is the election fever over?
Oh, yes. It's over, and we've hit the ground running already. So we are working seriously.
Ghana is watching. This is a platform that everybody watches, including the chief of staff.
Very well.
They watch it. So
Very
if
well.
you come here and whatever you say, they look at you and then they say, okay, you've said it on a national platform.
Sure.
So you need to really deliver and execute and let us see. So
Sure.
What sort of leadership is Alhaji Dauda Fuseni's administration going to exhibit for Ghanaians?
All right. Thank you very much. And good morning to our listeners. Mr. Tu, I think I have 3 policies in mind to bring on board to make sure we change the narrative of boxing and then to take boxing to the next level.
Okay.
So the 3 policies are: 1, rebranding; 2, transparency; and 3, regional integration in trying to develop boxing across the nation. 1, rebranding. When I say rebranding, what do we mean by rebranding? I think boxing has done so much for Ghana sports, and it needs the needed attention now. But most of the times, the way we brand it isn't attractive enough for corporate bodies to buy into our ideas. I think this time around, we need to brand it properly, package it very well, and then sell it to the corporate bodies to come on board, to come and support us. Boxing, I always say, we have talent. We are blessed with full of talent here in Ghana. And the only thing or the only challenge we do have when it comes to boxing development is our finance. And how do we get the finance? We need to go to the corporate bodies to help us. But then here is the case: we have not packaged the sports very well. So anytime we go to them, they turn a deaf ears on us. They don't even listen to us. So this time around, in my tenure, I am coming with a different, set of mindset to make sure I bring in rebranding, where we're going to put everything in order, restructure how it is. Restructure a new boxing administration altogether, whereby we'll make sure we'll set a team, a committee, a very robust committee, sponsorship committee and marketing committee, to go out there, to go and solicit for support, solicit for fund, so that we can do a very good boxing. 1, when I talk about rebranding, you see, from the past, when you go to boxing events, so many things do happen there which is not good. And most of the times, it deters people who love boxing to come to boxing programs of such nature, or to even think of supporting the sport. They see it to be a violent sport. They see it to be a sport which, like the fans are not disciplined enough. But that is not the case. We are going to give them a different mindset altogether. We'll let them understand that boxing is a science, it's a very disciplined sport. Because without discipline, you cannot do boxing. But it is rather being interpreted differently in a different language. because of the few ones that are so, violent enough, that are not disciplined enough to, they come there and they misbehave. That is why it is carrying a negative image out there. But in our tenure, we are going to put a stop to all of that, portray the right nature of boxing to everyone so that they can come on board to support. That has always been the challenge, and that has always been why we have not been getting sponsors to come on board to support.
In a nutshell, you want to restore confidence.
Very well. Confidence in the sport of boxing, confidence in the sports, the boxing lovers, so they can come on board to support us. I believe we have a lot of people who so much love boxing, and they have it at the heart. And I believe with the right steps, they may come on board to come and support boxing.
Do you and your team, you are leading the juvenile and amateur boxing front now?
Yeah.
Do you have data? What does this really tell you? How many young boys and young girls love the sports, are practicing the sports, have the potential of practicing the sports? Do you have data?
Yes. Okay. So that is one area we are also focusing. We don't, but in my tenure, I'm planning to bring all these things on board to make sure we have a robust data system where, like you said, we'll be managing and monitoring those, who love the sports, those that we can, and then the areas that we can be tapping the talent from.
Okay.
So this is one area, or this is something that, I have it at the back of my mind that we are going to implement. Because when you don't have such system, you cannot monitor your progress. And when you are even doing something very right, you cannot monitor it when you don't have proper system or proper data system. So this is one area we are going to concentrate so much to be able to make sure we are able to monitor the progress, we are able to monitor all the, the juvenile, the youth boxers that we are going to tap, and then the areas that we can develop them into becoming a better boxers.
We know in our settings that there's always community-based activity. So we call it the grassroots. How do you intend making sure that you revive that community boxing? Let's say every weekend. Once upon a time, there was always a Friday night amateur boxing championship somewhere that individuals will come, dodge traffic, come and sit down, unwind, see potentials coming up. How do you intend reviving it, and when are you going to see the revival? Because the 4 years has already started for you, so that we see that at least something is happening. Okay,
so that's the area that I have two ways of doing that.
Okay.
One, like I mentioned, all these things, heavily depends on finance. So we'll set a robust team to go search for the money to bring it, so we can be doing all of these things. We'll use, when organizing championship regularly or even community-based tournament regularly, it depends on money. When you don't have the fund, you cannot do it.
Okay.
So we'll go in to make sure we get the support so we can be doing all of these things regularly. Then also, I'll be partnering. I'm a team player. I'm not going to do one-man show or something, no. So my doors are open, and I will engage a lot of people to come on board.
Okay.
We have, NGOs like the Bisisaka and some few other ones in town. We'll engage them so that they can partner the GBF to be organizing such programs, because on their own, they've been doing it already. But in my tenure, I want to empower them, come on board, partner them to make sure we do it right.
Okay. So now, I know you have a mission, a vision similar to that of the GOC president. He wants athletes in Ghana to have education and continue their sports.
Very well.
He doesn't want one to be bigger than the other. He wants it to go in parallel. Do you follow that step? We are being told, some research says that, those who like to do the boxing don't want to go to school plenty and stuff like that. Are you going to encourage school boxing, or how are you going to approach it?
Of course, that is how it's supposed to be. Because if anyone tells you that boxing is for the, excuse my language, cobblerers, or those who doesn't want
vagabonds, we call them.
The vagabonds, those who doesn't want to go to, it's absolutely wrong. I will not buy that idea at all. We have boxers who have their masters, all right? And we have boxers who are even currently in school, SS3, SS2, and so on and so forth. So the area of support, when it comes to education, is already there. Because I quite remember there was one man who came to organize. He came with a project that he said, school, is it box before school or school before, something like that. You understand? So, the idea is there. To
push children, okay.
Exactly, the idea is there.
Small,
exactly,
go to school,
that is it. And then also with Bisisaka, like I mentioned earlier on, theirs is to give scholarship to the kids. Full scholarship. See them through education. Because they are even more into the education than the boxing. Because they think there is life after boxing. So if you are not able to, educate yourself properly and along the line something happens to you, what are you going to do?
Great.
So boxing, schooling, it is something that we are working so hard to make sure we encourage all the boxers. Those that are not even in school, we encourage them to go back to school. To further their education. And then there is this one school too, who is also doing. They are doing very well. They've given a scholarship to few boxers like the Africanos, and then currently Prince Labi.
Okay.
Yes. So I've forgotten the name of the school, but I'll give it to you later.
When they see potential, they
they give them scholarship.
Wow.
For them they will enroll them. Actually, and then give them full scholarship, see them through education. So this is something we are very keen on, making sure we educate the children as well.
What's your plan for decentralizing boxing, making sure that boxing is not only Accra-based, juvenile boxing, amateur boxing, it's not only Accra-based? How do you intend? Do you intend doing decentralization?
Yes, it is part of my manifesto, message. That is where I bring in the regional integration, where I'm going to, engage the regions, organize inter-regional championship, where they will be engaging themselves. Because when I was, campaigning, I had the chance to go around the country.
So you've been able to go to the 16 regions?
Yes, I've been able to go there. Yes, I went there.
You saw potentials there?
Yes. But the story was so sad, because when you go there and you see their rings, where they train, the equipment is very sad. In fact, I had the opportunity to even meet Nana Okunedu in Sunyani. And the stories, yes, our former world champion, Nana Okunedu, and the stories that he told me, it was so pathetic, trust me. Because when he took us to the gym that he trained and became the world champion, it's so sad. The place is it's so bad. It's so bad. This man has so much in him and wanted to help the youth there. And he's still at the same gym where he trained before to become. Yes. So he took me there, showed me around. I was like, okay, this is what I have. But with the little resources I'm still doing my best to make sure I train the boxers. So please help me. Try to help me. And this is one person, when he's giving the support, he can nurture a lot of, young talents to represent Ghana in the future.
Let's talk about the plan for the international scene. When I talk about international Africa, the world, major competitions, what are the expectations for Ghana's performance? I know when we come to the Olympics, Commonwealth, there's always the mention of your sport, that they bring us medals. Under your tenure, are we going to continue? Are we going to maintain it? Are we going to stop?
No, we're not stopping. We are going to go beyond what we have achieved. Because, like I said, we are bringing new things on board. And honestly speaking, if we are able to go through what, the plans that we have on board, then trust me, the sky will be our limit. And then we're even going to go beyond what we expect. You see, I don't know if you know, currently, aside being the president of the Ghana Boxing Federation, I'm also the African Boxing Zone 2 president. I don't know if you are aware.
I'm aware. Congratulations.
Thank you.
No longer going.
Thank you. So what I plan doing is that because of my current position with the African body, I'll also make sure I liaise with the African, body to, on a regular basis, to be organizing maybe 4 or 5 tournaments, like 4 or 5 nations tournaments on a regular basis, because we have the facilities already here in Ghana. And I believe by so doing, the boxers will be fighting different opponents. They'll be learning a lot of things, because boxing has one thing. When you always fight with the same people you don't improve.
Okay. So for instance, on our screens are some amateur boxers. You look at them and the technique, the desire is there, the energy is there. They need somebody to coach them. They need somebody to tell them that after school. Because after this, they will get tired. They need food to eat. They need clothes to wear. They need to be look good. So these ones are the ones we're talking about. And so you are bringing to do what? A 3-nation tournament, a 4-nation tournament.
Very well.
That's what you intend doing?
Yes, but probably maybe not in their division.
Okay.
Because these are juveniles,
Okay.
you understand? Probably will be focusing on the youth,
Okay.
the elites,
Okay.
because they are the ones that need that support and then need that sharpening.
Okay.
Because these ones are coming, they are up and coming. So we can still nurture them, take our time and nurture them. But the youth and then those ones are the ones that we need.
Okay.
Because this year we have the Youth Olympics Games. I don't know if you are aware.
I'm aware.
Very well. And we'll be going for the qualification tournament in Thailand. So we need to prepare the boys. So how do we prepare them? By giving them, regular engagement, engaging them in regular fights. And when they fight among themselves, like I was explaining, when they fight among themselves, they don't learn anything new. But when you give them new opponents, they have new challenges, they learn new things. So that is what I plan bringing on board, to make sure all the time they fight, all the time they engage with different opponents, so they will be learning different things at all times.
What is your plan for officiating and technical development?
We previously, in the previous administration, we've been able to, train some few officials, referees and judges. Some, were able to get star 1, others star 2. So I think in that area, we are not doing bad, but I plan to upgrade them. Those in the star 1 will move to star 2, those in star 2 will move in star 3, so that they will get the opportunity of getting, outside fights, because most of the times when you don't have that ranking, you are not being called to officiate internationally. But when we are able to push them to that level, they'll be called to, officiate in international, and it will go to our advantage, actually. So that is what I will be monitoring the African boxing closely, and then the international boxing closely. Anytime I see any any training course that is related to officiating or officials, I'll quickly enroll them to make sure I give them the opportunity.
For our coaches, they go, they scout, they do their stuff before even attention comes on, and then your outfit will say, okay, these are potentials, we want to win. How is your leadership and your team going to liaise with the coaches, and what is there for the coaches?
All right, so in my leadership, or in our leadership, I believe we are going to work closely with them, because with the amateur boxing, they are our only stakeholder body that we work with. They and the referee and judges, unlike the professionals where you have the matchmakers, the promoters, and other things. So on a regular basis, we'll be engaging them. Trying to find out their problems, trying to find out what they think we should do to help them, or what they think when we do is going to help boxing as a whole. So they are members that all the time on a regular basis will be going to them, engaging them, taking their inputs, or allowing them to put their inputs in whatever we do to make sure we succeed. Because without them, we cannot succeed. Like you rightfully said, they are the people who goes to the grounds, tap the talent, build them, develop them before we use them. So how can we work without them? So it is highly impossible doing it without them. So we're going to engage them regularly.
God being so good, the sports fund is emotional.
Yeah.
When are you going to study? Have you studied exactly the demands of the sports fund, and how do you intend doing it in terms of saying you are setting up a committee to go and seek for sponsorship here and there? And how do you intend studying that sports fund and then knowing what benefit it stands for your administration to tap and then let the resources flow to develop? Because if you want to go Africa, if you want to really develop, like you said, resources comes in money.
Yeah.
And there's money coming, but it doesn't just come. You have to work for it, apply for it. So have you started studying the law?
Yes, we have. That is why I told you earlier on, with boxing, we started, and later, help comes in from, places. So with the new sports fund, yes, we have engaged the NSA boss, but we are yet to engage the minister, And then, like I also told you, I'm not going to, be a one-man show, or run a one-man show administration. I'll set up a team who will be working, experts, who will be working on those areas to make sure the needed requirements are met. Whatever it is that we need to do, we've done it to be able to, access or get access to, that fund to be able to run the administration.
One thing that kills, you get closer to boxers and everybody and stakeholders. And they say their welfare is not taken care of very well. And so in terms of welfare, I don't know how your team really sees it, but how crucial will welfare of all your stakeholders be for you and your administration?
I think it's one area which is very paramount to me. It is very, very important because without boxers, I wouldn't be sitting here. So they are the ones who made me, the president. So I need to also make sure their welfare is being taken care of. You see, unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier on, everything has to do with finance. You understand? Everything is centered on money. In my administration, we are going to look into it critically to make sure we get a team to get the money. Because, you see, one thing that I realize is that the way we are running the administration of boxing is not the way we should run it. In America, when a boxer is called into the elite team, he's being paid every month. They pay the boxer, the athlete. So that gives the athletes sound mind. It gives them focus to do what they are supposed to do for the nation. But in our case, it's different. You take or you call boxer into the national team, you don't take care of his feeding, you don't take care of his clothing, you don't take care of anything about the boxer, and you expect this same boxer to perform miracles and excel. It is very bad. So we are working on, few things to make sure we get support to take care of the boxers, because it is very, very important when it comes to administration. Boxers need to have sound mind. They need to have, they need to be focused in anything, like in the area of their, boxing. They need to be focused, because when a boxer comes to training, he trains, he goes back home, he doesn't get food to eat. That same boxer will be forced to go out to go and work and get some money. So the energies that he needs to reserve for, the next day training or for fight or whatever it is, he will go out there to exert that energy in doing different things. Just to make sure he gets...
Yes, we'll get enough time to come and delve into it, especially nutrition, their medics, everything.
Exactly.
At least, because this sport, it's a critical sport.
That is it. Because, sometimes you say, Ghanaian boxer goes out there, he fights very well, round 1, round 2, he's tired, he cannot continue again. There are reasons for that.
Okay. And you feel that you can start from the amateur and the
There
juvenile level?
are reasons for that. We need to get, like you said, a dietitian who will be looking into their food, what they eat, and then a proper doctor who will be monitoring them, analyzing them, looking at their electrolytes. Like, there are so many things that needs to be done. And those are the things
Are you saying that you can do this within 4 years?
Yes, I'm going to do it within 4 years, by God's grace.
Okay. Time is not on our side. Stakeholders are watching you. Give them a message. This is your first time being here. You get opportunity to be here.
Yeah.
But for a start, what are you telling all stakeholders?
So I'm telling all the stakeholders that they should watch out for a new boxing era. They should also watch out for a lot of goodies from Ghana Boxing Federation. We are assuring them that we are going to take boxing to a different level. We'll make sure we'll rewrite the wrongs and then bring them the medals they so deserved.
Okay, so boxers, you are listening, coaches, you are listening, club owners, you are listening to your president. This is what he's saying. So what you tell the fans as well, they are also part of the stakeholders.
Yes, so,
from the Alhaji Dauda Hussaini's administration, what message are you giving all fans? Okay,
so the message I'm giving to all fans, this is for us to bring the laurel so that they'll cheer us up. So I'm assuring them that with the right, structure, we are going to do that for them so that they can cheer us up the more. But then they should also make sure they behave themselves anytime there is a boxing match or a tournament. They should behave themselves, because boxing need corporate entities to come on board. We need big men to come on board. And most of the times, the feedbacks we've been hearing is that you know, the people, when you come to boxing shows, you know, the violence there is too much, so they don't want to come again. So when these things happens, it deter, you know, potential, you know, sponsors and other things away from boxing, which is not good for the sport. So we are begging them to be disciplined when it comes to, you know, boxing tournament. Then also I want to chip in here. We are going to organize our individual championship, and it's going to be on from the 29th of January to the 1st of February, where we'll be selecting the best ones into the national team to represent Ghana in the Olympics Games.
Great. So.
Sorry, Commonwealth Games.
Commonwealth Games. So it's going to happen at the Bukom Boxing Arena, or it's going to take place where?
Bukom Boxing Arena.
Bukom Boxing Arena. Yeah. So is it a day, a full day package, or a half day package, or a night package that people should just embrace and just come?
Yeah, Tio, you know how we do boxing, you know. You know, normally we start from 3 with the amateurs, 3:30 up until maybe 8 p.m. Yeah, that's daily for 3 days. But then the finals, we'll start the finals from the 7th p.m., from 7 p.m., maybe up to 10 or
Great.
11. Yeah.
Great. So that's what is going to happen. So we are checking out from the studio. But in all you're saying, you've been mute on the media. What should the media expect from your administration? Media for boxing development at the grassroots level.
I always say that when you are working in the dark, nobody knows. You will know what you are doing, but nobody else does. So when you are working without media, then it is like you are working in the dark.
Okay.
So media is one area that I will not joke with at all.
Great.
So I'm all for media.
So it's all for media. So all my media friends have asked you a question for you. Said we should rely on them. They will not treat us as the last option, like a generator, standby generator. When they lose hope, then they come to us. Yeah. But they will be with us throughout and throughout. Mr. President, thank you very much for your time. I know you're a busy guy. Thank you very much, team behind the scenes, my director and everybody, for helping us do this. Do enjoy the rest of our programs. This is GBC News' Sports Current Affairs program. It is called The Pitch. I am Theophilus Sampa, your humble servant. Have a lovely day.